How you going, guys? This is the Dusty Bogan.
You make me look bad.
That's my impersonation of you. But no, hey guys, welcome to my Sunday regular. I don't know what is it? Every 2 weeks. It's meant to be every 2 week show. This is the second show that we've done together officially. And yeah. Hello, Dusty, my fellow host. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good to be here.
It's good. Like you abandoned me last Sunday.
Yeah, I had we went and did the 4X brewery tour. So I was a bit I was extra dusty on Sunday.
Extra dusty.
Yeah, I was I could handle like binging Netflix and conspiracy theories, and that was about it.
I love Netflix. At the moment I'm watching Pokemon. Because I'm a big kid. Love Pokemon. But that's what I've been watching. Did you watch that link that I sent you? I stay away from leftist pages now, but you were on a video recently.
Oh yeah. So is that dude is he left wing? Is he?
I don't think he's an unreasonable lefty. I don't think he's lefty the way I don't think he's like a 9-month abortion lefty, but he certainly leans left, yeah.
What is it? What's his name? The
name of the page is Patatriots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to watch the stuff.
And is it like taking the piss out of patriots or something?
Yeah, everyone who is deemed conservative or right wing. Yeah.
Ah, all right. I thought he was like more of a conservative who was just like, I'm a conservative, but these guys are idiots.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, he may have conservative leanings. He seems relatively fair at times. Like sometimes what he says is accurate. But yeah, he says that you and Tim are a weird what was it? A pairing?
Was he like he said something like he said something like, and Tim's trying on some new talent. And it's like
yeah, varying degrees of success.
And he's like the Kiwi, he claims to be an Aussie. I liked it. I think all trolling and hate is good. I love it. I want an army of trolls. I'm jealous of people's trolls.
What bothers me is that often people on our own side, on the conservative side, they complain about him and try to get his page or him banned, and they shouldn't do that to him because we are free speech absolutists, right? So he should be allowed to mock us. That's fine. Now, direct hatred towards someone or an employer, I draw the line there. But yeah, like people then often say, a friend of mine, I think you know him, Kwaku, or you're aware of him. He told me that some people have been saying about me that I'm not free speech because I tend to block and delete people from my Facebook page. But the reason I do that is because of this same logic that James Fox Higgins once stated in a status. It was really good. He basically said if someone came into your house and they started doing things that you didn't like, well then they shouldn't be doing that in your house and you have every right to tell them to leave. That's how I treat my Facebook page. So if people are going to be rude and disrespectful, I will block and delete you. But in a public forum, if we were sitting on a train together and someone said to me, I don't like that you said this, then I'd happily counter argue that. What do you reckon? Agree or disagree?
I mean, is it true? I heard that someone told me anyway. They're like, I think they were like, because I was trying to get my channel monetized, my YouTube channel, and someone's like, if people talk shit in your channel, in your chat, that can get you a red flag from YouTube.
I don't know because that's not your fault. It's possible, but that it is becoming that draconian. Yeah. It's completely possible, but I don't think that is the case. I do know that on Facebook that's the case. Have you heard of Political Posting Mama?
Yeah. She's good. I interviewed her.
Oh yeah, same. I interviewed her. She's a friend of mine. The moment that she and I did a live stream together ages ago, her followers became aware of me, and then they started hating me too. It's like, oh, there's another woman we can hate, you know.
But so you got all her trolls.
I got a lot of her trolls, yeah. But the thing that bothers me is that she's now fighting in court because of something someone else wrote that she didn't choose to hide or to delete or whatever it is. So she's now.
Someone wrote this in her comment section.
Yeah, and someone else might have written, I hate, I don't know, the Jays, or I hate the religion of peace worshippers, or whatever it may be. Someone wrote something like that. Someone wrote something like that, and she's in trouble for not having hidden the comment. How crazy is that? Poor lady.
That's stupid. Who's got time for that?
I know. I have 3 people who are moderators to my page. One is my sister. One is an American fellow that is a friend, and one is someone else. And like, I can't. We all have lives. We're all doing things. Like you can't spend your face. You can't spend your life with your face in your phone. And also, I get eye aches. My eyes are in so much pain lately. Like, I know that sounds weird.
Too much screen time.
I think it must be. I don't know what it is, but I do get ocular migraines. That's something that I unfortunately suffer with. But how have you been? How's your week? How are you going?
Oh, yeah. Jeez. Nah, good, I got my hours up. So, to get monetized or whatever on YouTube, you need 4,000 hours, viewed hours.
And what are you up to?
I'm past my hours. My channel's up. I don't think I'm getting monetized. But I don't know.
Who knows?
It goes up for what do they call it? They review your channel or some crap.
They have to review it for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I reckon I'm fair and balanced, but you know what I mean.
I think you are. You've never really stated any hatred towards anyone who is black, white, Jewish, whatever it may be. You're very inclusive in your civic nationalism. I don't know where I stand with all of that, but
I'm a civic nationalist, but I believe in zero illegal immigration.
Sure.
I believe in reducing the amount of immigrants we have, and I do believe in. I think we should be. We shouldn't just take one group of people. Like, we shouldn't be like, how Europe and America, like Europeans just taking we're just taking Muslims, and the Americans are like, we're just taking Latinos. So it's not a good idea. Yeah. Just take a little bit of everyone. I think we should have zero illegal immigration. We should reduce the amount of immigration, make it long-term sustainable. Do you know what I mean? And then we should let in, not just we're just letting in. Shouldn't be well, look, we abandoned the White Australia policy, right? We used to just take Europeans. Well, okay, that's fine. Let's not just take Polynesians or just take Asians. Let's give everyone a little crack. And I think that way you kind of get better integration, I think. You probably get less ethnic ghettos. Everyone will kind of be like, oh yeah, and learn to get on better, and you have to. I think that would make a better. I think we've done that in Australia. I think that's.
But I actually disagree with you.
Yeah. Oh, whatever.
No, what I mean is,
I'm right and you're wrong.
I mostly agree with you, but the reason I slightly disagree with you is because certain people groups cause more problems than other people groups. Statistically speaking, on statistical averages at least, I would accept in everyone on a case-by-case basis and not have a crack at everyone just for the sake of being inclusive and fair.
Yeah, I would meritocracy kind of thing.
Well, I would bring in, say, more white South African farmers over people who adhere to the religion of peace and happen to hate Christians or happen to hate gay people. I would bring in less of those. Yeah. But at the same time, it's all case-by-case basis. But you should base your letting in of people in the country, you should base that on
there should be a certain amount of integration. There's got to be an ability to integrate. So like I'm saying, what I'm saying is give everyone a crack, give a different religions and race groups a crack, but
which we are doing.
But we do need to vet these people. We need to make sure they're not just coming to get on the dole. They're coming to economically integrate straight away. You can't live in a first world economy and not have a job. You need to work. You can't live here on the dole system. And that's not our immigration. The purpose of immigration is so these people become bloody economic participants. That's the purpose. That's why we want them here. Absolutely. If they're coming in to get on the dole, they should be exported straight away. They should speak English. They should be able to, you look at the Vietnamese, I'm pretty sure
they're successfully integrated.
East Asians, Northeast Asians, Vietnamese, Filipinos, they're a 98% unemployment rate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's 2%.
That's crazy because they work so hard.
They work their asses off. It's 2% of them are on the dole or whatever. Work, and we know the stats on all this when they say, the unemployment rate. It's like that literally mean it's more like the demographic. I think it's between 18 and 65. So it's only like that demographic. So, there's pensioners and there's people who are like kids at school. And I think they even take people out of that demographic who are like on the fucking sickness benefit. So it's kind of not a true, the true picture of immigration, of the employment stats. Like it's a bit, you have to kind of dig into this crap to get it right. But
from what you're saying, it sounds like you want to kick out my money.
I think we could cut immigration, definitely.
Yeah.
We got to keep offshore detention. We can't have any boats, and we got to we could cut it, because I think I think we could have it more sustainable, and we got to probably there's, I think I live in a good part of Brisbane where there's like
good old Brizzy.
There's a good mix of immigrants.
Yeah.
And there are some ethnic ghetto areas. Well, they're not ghettos. Like you've got your Sunnybank, which is more Chinese and stuff, and then Inala's more Vietnamese. And like, look, they're great. They're fine. They work their asses off,
Yeah.
And then you've got your main ethnic areas. You got what do they call it? Logan. There are areas where it's high immigration, but I think we've done a better job in Brisbane. It's pretty good, but we need to be mindful of this. What the hell we're doing? Are people economically integrating? Are they participating in the culture? Like, are they going to the state of origin? Are they like pumped up on state of origin? And are they celebrating the national days like Australia Day? Are they freaking? But it's our part to we need to give these people a license to participate. Be like, hey man, come. Come celebrate Australia Day. That's the same thing with our Aboriginal mates. Like, we've got to be like, I said this in my Proud Boys speech. I was like, look, they want to change the date, right? These Aboriginal people, because maybe they feel like it doesn't sit right with them. I'm like, well, one thing we can do, I believe in keeping the date the same, but one thing we can do is be like, reach out to our Aboriginal mates and be like, hey, we're going to honour you on Australia Day as well. We want you to come and participate. Bring your Aboriginal flag. Come to Australia Day barbecue. Come play cricket, because we want to honour you. If it doesn't feel right with you, well, we could change how we celebrate it and bring them in and make sure they're welcome and feel like they can participate. And same with all people who live here. That's our responsibility. That's my responsibility as a Proud Boy, like as a leader of the Proud Boy. I'm like, Proud Boys.
Are you a leader?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I feel like it's a part of my responsibility. Like,
I'm speaking to an Australian hero.
Nah. What do? We go for beers once a month and go to rallies,
Yeah, I was just teasing.
Nah. What the hell do I know anyway? I'm just a bloke with a fucking running around with a stupid hat and a microphone.
It's working for you, dude. You've got your own website and everything.
Yeah, my mate made me a website.
Nice.
This weekend. He's like, hey, Dusty, we went out a beer last night. He's like, I made your website. Gave me the login, set it all up for free. So
now he has
my
to
brother my brother made me a shirt, my Dusty Bogan shirt. And
the Dusty Bogan.
So maybe I could sell some merch down the track and get it all sorted out.
But first, you need to do something really controversial, like walk into a fundraiser and then tip the Guardian off so that they can write an article about you, so you can capitalize on it.
Oh yeah, I'll be going and doing something radical. Nah. There's some dude in Ipswich, right? We drove past his house today, and he's got like these big billboards, and it's like, the government's corrupt and all this. He's literally put billboards on his front lawn on the main drag, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the city council's not happy with it, and they're going to try it. They want to remove his signs.
Why?
So this has just happened, and I'm like, everyone knows this guy's house. Everyone drives past his house, and I'm like, I've just heard of this from a local. He's like, they're trying to get rid of his signs. So I'm thinking next Saturday or something.
Yeah.
Soon enough, before the signs get removed, I'm going down there and having a chat. I'll probably knock on his door and get like bashed or shot or something,
No, then what will I do for my fortnightly Sundays? Please be careful.
I'll do a live. So
Yeah,
know,
do a live.
I'll probably knock on his door first and be like, "How you going?" Before I just rock up with
Yeah.
fucking on
Hey,
live,
how
like
you
live.
going? I'm the
Yeah.
Dusty Bogan.
I wear my hat. Hopefully, he's like, "I know who you are, mate." Shout me a beer. No.
Do you ever get recognized out of curiosity?
Yeah, when at the rallies and that, when when we're going to all these rallies and
Yeah.
like Milo, even when Milo Yiannopoulos came, I just started doing this stuff, and
Yeah.
people are like, I'm walking in, and they're like, "Hey, Dusty!" I'm like, and then like everywhere,
Yeah.
even in service stations, people have been like, "Hey, Dusty!" I'm
That's
like, "Here you go."
awesome.
Some dude at church was like sitting there, and I was like, someone's like, "Oh, how's the Dusty Bogan going?" And then some dude's like, "Are you the Dusty Bogan?" He's like, "The channel," like some other random. That's pretty funny.
Awesome. Yeah. That doesn't happen to me, which I'm
I think
glad
it
about.
was, yeah. Oh well.
Well, because for whatever reason, I'm more dangerous than you because I don't know. But anyway, like that's good. I'm glad that you get such a good reception. That's so cute. That's
Yeah,
nice.
no one's ever tried to fucking abuse me. One time we're at this
No,
rally.
no one's
Remember
abused
that?
me either. If someone abused me, I would bring my phone out immediately so that people could see what the hell that person was doing. Because I don't call
was at
violence on
this.
anyone.
I was at this. We're at this anti-safe school rally. You know that gender
Yes.
fluid stuff
Don't
they're trying to
worry.
teach. Yeah,
I'm well aware of it. Yeah.
we went to this anti-safe school rally, and Antifa were there.
Uh-huh.
And like this is probably the most weird situation. Like some dude comes up to me, standing next to me, he's all dressed in black.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was like a right wing extremist, like just a nutcase.
Yeah, they
And
are
I'm
nutcases.
I
They
was
are
like,
nutcases.
I was like, "Are you all right, mate? Like, you're good?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I follow you on Facebook or something." I'm like, "Oh yeah, cheers,
Yeah.
mate. How you going?" And then I'm like, "Do you want to go for a beer after?" And he's like, "I think I'm a bit too extreme for you." I'm like, "All right." And then I'm turning around, and then Antifa have pushed through the police and they're screaming and yelling at me, "Go back to New Zealand." They had some sign like "Proud Boys."
Deport him. Deport the Dusty Bogan.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, here we go. I got a right wing nutcase on my right hand side.
And then you have a group of
He's trying to get real close to me, and like he was being weird, like I think he was trying to bloody, blind hit me or something like.
Uh-oh.
And then on the behind me, I had Antifa screaming at me.
Yeah.
This is ages ago now. This is when I had Facebook, and luckily I had my camera. I just turned it around, and then they all kind of like scattered like flies.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Jesus, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then they wrote hit pieces that day. They wrote hit pieces about us,
as they would. Yeah, I've been in a couple of.
It was just like
yeah.
homophobic, Islamophobic, racist, all this crap. Typical PC lies, whatever. And it's like circular reasoning. Once they have enough of these hit piece articles about you, they'll refer to the other articles.
Yes.
And that's what they do. They're like, "But you are." And you're like, "Hang on a minute. Have you watched any of my crap? You watched any of my videos? Do you want to go have a beer?" And they'll be like, they wouldn't want to listen.
No.
They create like a false narrative. They create the circular reasoning, and they're just like, it's all bloody lies. But who cares? I love the trolls. I hope they write hit pieces about me. I don't care. Whatever.
I did care, as you well know, when I was. I did care, but I don't now. I'm okay with it. It just took me a while to settle with it.
I think like I live in the real world where people do abuse the shit out of you. Like it happens. I've had, just
but like I don't do that.
Or we sit at.
I wouldn't do that to someone on an individual level. So why are they doing that to us? Anyway, keep going.
That happens at that's like a family bloody lunch at my house. We're like right into it and like, "You're an idiot."
A family lunch.
Brothers are trying to punch on and are screaming at you, like the boss screams at us, whatever.
Oh my gosh.
So when I'm just like, like I always say, I think 20% of people are idiots in this world. I don't really believe in a lot of these conspiracy theories. I think just 20% of people are fucking morons and you should stay away from them. Maybe 1% of people are truly evil, but most of them, you probably just got a 20% idiot ratio where you just need to avoid.
Well, Jesse Lee Peterson said to me that he wishes all of the leftists that hate him really well. He prays for them, and that he and I do the same. I pray for them, even though like they've come after me individually as a person, whereas I wouldn't do that to them. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. But yeah. So I don't think that they are not evil, but they're certainly very malicious.
I don't think they're
they
evil too. They have a good intention.
no,
Like
but
they break
some of
down
them
into
do.
the
That's not true though. If the fact that they go out of their way and say, let's dox this person, let's do this thing in particular for something that they did, even though the thing that maybe that was done is highly exaggerated, and no one was hurt, and obviously I made a mistake, and we all make mistakes, but to go after an individual that way, and to dox them, and then to also go after their employer and to leave them 1-star reviews, and that's pretty nasty. I wouldn't do that to a leftist. I would, if I found out that someone did something really horrible and they were working somewhere and I knew about it, I wouldn't attack them. I just wouldn't.
Yeah, get over it.
But you and I are a lot more evolved, I suppose, emotionally in that regard, or a lot kinder. I don't know. I don't
Most
know
of
what
these
wording to use.
the radical lefties aren't like the radical lefties. You got like they're probably 0.01% of the population, and it's like
Maybe.
it's the
Yeah,
professor,
maybe.
right? It's the brainwashed
Yeah.
radical. They're like militant atheists. Number one, that's the brain processing where it all starts that leads them down the left wing Marxism, right? And these are the professors in our universities who are just brainwashing the kids, right? They're brainwashing
Sure.
the young adults.
For sure.
And it's the young adults who I don't think are evil. Maybe the professor's just such a like nihilistic weirdo.
Probably
Like,
nihilistic.
yeah, they're just like, oh, nothing in this, like it doesn't matter. Like they want abortion. They want to depopulate. They don't want people having families because people cause pollution. Like they don't want that. They actually do believe in globalism.
They do.
I think I get I understand where they want globalism and no borders because they want a one world communist government. Like they're control freaks. At the end of the day, these people, they have a fucking disposition. They're compensating their own lack, and the compensation is this extreme control freak mentality. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think these professors, they're manipulating the young uni students, and they're pulling on the heartstrings, and they're like, well, hang on, look at these, and look at these minorities, look at these identity politics groups. Do you know what I mean? And I think the young people in the universities, they're probably like, oh yeah, I see like how they could be, they're like a minority, that demographic is got some issues, and then they're
For
like,
sure.
I could sympathize with that. And they probably are genuinely just trying to sympathize with these little identity politics groups, like the young people. But I think what happens is they will get older and they'll mature, and then they'll be like, hang on a minute, I don't think that was the right way to go about it. Like, I think we're better to have like there's more of a holistic approach we can have that's going to be more long-term beneficial than like the squeaky wheel gets the squeaky wheel gets the grease approach, where it's the fucking throwing the toys out of the cot and crying just because I want bloody McDonald's to pay a sugar tax, or we want gay we shouldn't have gender on birth certificates, like whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever.
It's just like, come on, mate. Like, they're going a bit too far. We shouldn't have borders. Like, hang on. I'm telling you, go tell the Mexicans that. Look what happened when all the Ecuadorian people came through and they couldn't get through to America, and the Mexicans are like, hang on a minute, can we get rid of these people? We don't want them either.
Exactly.
Where were they in Tijuana? They're all fucking in Tijuana. And the Mexicans were like, we don't want these people here.
Yeah. No, kidding. That's Native American.
I reckon they should build a wall at the south of Mexico, the South Mexican border.
Cancun.
Because isn't there like a high...
La cucaracha ya no puede caminar. No, sorry, what was I saying?
Yeah, it's all your people. They're all to blame. No, only joking.
No, they are. They're to blame for a lot. That's the thing. I don't
No,
collect. I'm not a collectivist. I'm not.
It's just the love of money. That's the problem with Latin America. The love of money. It's all the cocaine, the drugs.
Yeah.
Like there's such a huge market for it in North America that
Well,
it's like there's so much money, and you know all that money causes corruption, and that's the problem.
My mum
If they
can hook
get
you
rid
up.
of it, then like Latin America would probably, if they get rid of the drugs, they'll dry up the illegal money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which will reduce the corruption, and then you'll probably see they could bring in like true capitalism. The free market could work. There'd be huge amounts of investment, and there'd be all this awesome stuff in Latin America. And I reckon we'd all want to go and live there.
The Dusty Bogan for president of Colombia 2020.
Right. They have to get a guy in like the Filipino prime minister who's just a hard ass who's like, hey, we've fucking had enough of the corruption and the drugs and the prostitution, and we've hasn't worked. Hasn't worked for our people.
Also a lot. There's a lot of bad to him and there's a lot of good to him. I haven't made up my mind about him yet. I need to do more research.
He's an absolute stud. You go and ask your Filipino mates about him. They froth at the mouth when they talk about that guy.
Fair enough.
I had a bloody article, but I think it would take me a while. I keep saving articles on my phone and being like, yeah, you talk some crap, and I'm going to look up an article about this Filipino prime minister.
Oh, okay, no worries. What was I going to say? Well, I'll still talk to you, but did you end up emailing Christopher Shortis? I think you guys would make an interesting live stream.
So that's the dude from
the other night that I was talking to. Yeah, the Christian.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't know he was a Christian, but like I remember. See, I remember
he wasn't much of a Christian when he did when he chopped off the head of that mannequin.
So he's like the Apostle Paul, mate. He's had a full.
he's come back to it, but you should totally do a live stream with him, and I really want you to do a live stream with Kwaku. Like that has to happen.
Oh, the African dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be real interesting.
Yeah, because you know I'm a far-right figure. I'm a far-right figure with black friends, but you know, you should. I'm racist, but you should have him on because you're far-right too.
I mean, like, this is the thing about the Africans. I don't get it in Melbourne, right?
Mm.
I was saying to my wife today, because, like I say, our last
is your wife white? No, I'm kidding. I know the answer to that. I was just trying to be funny. I actually never had a white. I had to marry.
I had to marry a white Australian, so they can't deport me. No, anyway,
exactly. I know. What were you going to say about Kwaku or the Africans?
I was saying that I was saying to my missus, like, look, there's all these churches in Brisbane, they're full of African migrants, right? They're coming in and they're awesome. They're so bloody good. Yeah, but they're good. Their kids are well behaved. They're clean. They look after them. They look after themselves. They're in church.
There's no issue with black people at large. It's just the South Sudanese, I think.
It's just them young people in Melbourne, but like
in the rest of Australia, no one ever said that they were a problem. But that's what the left were saying. We were saying.
Yeah. Like, but I'd be like, look, I said to my missus, I'm like, look, if this was happening in our community, I'd be like, get my African mates in church together and be like, all right, let's go and do something. Let's go grab these lads. I'd grab the boys and I'd be like, right, this is our youth group. We can set up a gym in the church. We can set up a music studio. We can help them get jobs. Like, we can help them get bloody white safety cars to work in construction, whatever they need to do.
Whatever it is, yeah.
These lads some jobs, get them into the gym, get them into sports, getting creative and making money. Like, once you learn to make your own money, you start frothing at the mouth. You're like yes! This is the land of opportunity. Like,
it is if we don't continue to be stifled.
Yeah, there's so much potential to make money. It's just a matter of how much time do you want to trade in. You know, how much of your free time do you want to trade in to make the cash? Like,
exactly.
I've had to learn that and be like, pull back on the work, like, and get a better work-life balance. But there's heaps of money to be made out there.
There is. You just need to be clever and figure out what's the next thing for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, you can start off making coffees or pouring schooners. You can
What's a
start off
schooner?
as a labourer or a worker. Like there's a cleaner. It doesn't matter. You start off somewhere. You
What's a
follow the
schooner?
opportunity, man. Like wherever the opportunities are, that's a secret in life. Hey, that's all what I ever did. I remember I finished school and I was like, I probably wasn't so confident, but I was like, you know what? I'll just take the first job I'm offered. I'll follow the opportunity. Where's the jobs at? I was like, I'll take
Hmm.
where's the crappiest job no one wants to do? I'll do that. That's what I did. And you just go
Really?
from strength to strength and you do it. Like I just
That's
worked in
good.
a factory. My mates, just worked in this factory and then went from one to the next. Just start somewhere, man. It doesn't matter. And this is the land of opportunity for young people, you know? They
Yeah.
don't have to they don't have to be going and number one, if you're breaking into people's houses, soon enough you're gonna get an arrow through the chest. Like people buy compound bows. Everyone's got a compound bow. These guys are lucky they're not like have an arrow stuck through their chest. Like
Is it?
it's gonna happen. And I'm
It's,
telling these people it's not fucking good.
is a schooner a half pint?
Schooner.
What is that?
Oh, I think it's a bit more than half a pint.
Oh.
You got pots, schooners, and pints,
Oh,
and
so
then a
I'm only
jug.
asking because I don't know what a schooner is, and then someone was trying to answer the question for me, and he wrote Kenji. He goes, "I think it's a half pint."
Oh yeah. Oh,
I'm
it
a
could be
bad
right.
Aussie. I'm a bad. No, he might be wrong. He might be right. I don't know, but I'm a
Oh,
bad Aussie.
get this right about the
Venezuela.
Philippines
Oh,
Prime
Philippines. Yeah.
Minister. We could do a whole show about this dude. I think he's my hero. I love Filipinos too. Like all my
So do I.
Filipino workmates, right? They listen to Metallica, they listen to heavy metal and rock,
Oh no, the
and they're
films I
fucking
know don't
awesome,
listen to
man.
that.
Oh, these guys are awesome. They're just like, and like they love to have a beer and they love our prime minister. And I'm like, your prime minister's the man. Like,
Go
we
ahead,
could
read what you
learn
want
a
to read.
lesson off this dude. So, I'll read. Should I read this article?
Yeah, you can read the
Anyway,
article.
Philippines prime
This
minister.
will be the end because I need to do stuff.
The end. What do you mean?
As in, read the article. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
I can't pronounce the dude's name. Can you? Do you know how to pronounce this dude's name?
Put it to the camera.
Rodrigo or something.
Oh, hang on. I'll just write.
Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. Says
Yeah.
he's saying he used to be gay but cured himself by marrying beautiful women. Didn't he marry one woman? What's wrong with this guy? No.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
I don't know. We're going to get in trouble by the gay community here. They
Oh,
full
that's
will
so
lock you up
stupid.
for talking about. Anyway, so he was in Japan last week speaking to a.
Rodrigo Duterte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably good at pronouncing this with a bit of like, you can speak Spanish and that.
I can speak Spanish.
Yeah. So is there like a thing? I heard there's like a thing where when you say, if you speak, say, I came, when I first learned to speak, when I was a baby, I came to Australia straight up. So I sounded Australian and your muscles in your throat and everything are like tuned into that way. And it's hard to like, if you even learn a new language, it's hard to get like the proper pronunciation because it's something to do with like, it's like you're using their muscles get trained to speak that way.
But yeah, I don't know. I've just always been bilingual, so it's just been natural.
That's good.
It's funny that he tried to cure himself with beautiful women. Continue.
I don't know, dude. Anyway, yeah. In Japan last week, he was speaking to a member of Tokyo Filipino community when he appeared to mock a political opponent, whatever his name is. I'm not even going to try this name. Saying a gay person told him that he used to be gay. The Filipino. I hate how these sites they say the same thing over and over again.
Oh, they do different way. F off, yeah.
Yeah. I said, "Are you sure?" They said, "You ask any gay person who sees him move, and they'll say he's gay." No wonder. I can't even read this anyway. This is just a crap article. I've clicked on a bad article, and I hate when they write it all fucking weird like this. Here we go. I'll just drop down past all the crap. Instead of making insulting and offensive, nonsensical remarks about LGBTQI people and marginalising communities, it is high time that he takes action to end the well-documented human rights abuses committed by government. I think it's by his government and security forces officials across Philippines. Oh, anyway, this is some shit left-wing article. I'm not going there.
Yeah, well, a lot
This
of
wasn't the
articles
article I
actually
was
end
reading
left-wing.
before. Anyway, it's funny that he said he used to be gay and he killed himself.
That's the thing that I find unusual about that, because a lot of gay people come out of it. Not come out of being gay, but come out of, you know, some of them just don't, come out of it. It sounds bad to say that, but if it's all about you're born that way or whatever it is, but someone chooses to suppress it or chooses to overcome it or whatever it may be, and then wants to live a straight lifestyle of their own choice where no one else imposed it, is that bad? Like, why do people demonize that?
I don't know. Like I thought the stats were that there's like a gay bubble, and it's like in young adults or youth and young adults, they'll be gay. They'll be like, yeah, I'm gay, and then they get into like the late 20s and 30s, and they're like, oh no, they go like, I'm bisexual, and then they end up being straight.
Or something like that. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And it's like they go through a phase, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
What I draw the line for gay people is like, I don't want any of them getting physically bashed. And the other day there was a story about like these two Spanish women in London who got bashed by these 4 young teens. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with
them? For being lesbian, or was it they just got bashed?
The 2 ladies happened to be a couple. And then these 4 young, they were adolescent men. They didn't mention their faith, their looks, nothing. So that's a little bit ambiguous there already.
Yeah.
And I read the article initially in Spanish because a Colombian cousin of mine posted it. And I was like, ooh, this is interesting. And I was reading it in Spanish. And then I saw that it also made news in English. So I read those articles too. And none of the articles mentioned the 4 boys and what they were. But they were trying to force the 2 ladies to continue kissing to turn themselves on. That doesn't sound like something.
What?
So they were like coercing the 2 women to make out to turn them on, and the women opposed it. They objected, like, we're not doing that, and then they became physical, and the women were like totally bleeding.
What the fuck? That's full on.
That is full on, and I was like, that's ridiculous. Leave the ladies alone. But I wonder what the ideology of the 4 boys is, because that's being completely left out.
Probably just stupidity.
No,
like I said, they're on the 20%.
It's possible that they are, in my opinion, of a particular religion that
Muslim.
We keep nameless.
Just say it.
The religion of peace. I'm not going to say it. Easter worshippers.
You're freaking afraid. Now you're like, it's self-censorship is happening now, eh?
Well,
out of fear of being deplatformed.
Absolutely. What's it called? Jesse Lee Peterson. I just finished editing my last portion of that interview, and he says radical homosexuals. That's what he said, and I literally put a censor in front of it where he said radical homosexuals. I put a censored thing, beep, and then someone in the chat wrote censor that, and I'm like, are you serious? Why did I censor that? Because we are now living in a draconian V for Vendetta society. Have you seen the movie V for Vendetta? We are there.
I don't think I have. Yeah, I know what it's about. So
yeah, it's a good movie actually.
Yeah, we're in this full PC. Like, haven't they done something where it's like, did there used to be a thing that was like gay conversion therapy? Like that used to be a thing, right?
It might still be a thing. Christians apparently, extremist fundamentalist Christians. I know I'm perceived by people as a fundamentalist. That's okay. People can say what they want about me, but I'm not for that. I don't think you should force an individual into that unless the individual chooses it. No one should force them to do that, because it's like almost like trying to lobotomize someone. It's like, let them make their own. If someone chooses to come out of it, then they choose to come out of it. You cannot force someone to become a Christian or to become gay or to become whatever it is.
Isn't that the whole point of Christianity? Is like this voluntary interaction.
It's free choice, exactly.
Yeah, like that's the Garden of Eden story. It's like
it's all free choice.
God created them 100% free. There had to be some temptation where there's ultimate freedom, the freedom to self-destruct. Like, that's when we know we have created artificial intelligence. Like, are they always going to be in control of it somehow, or are we going to actually one day have artificial intelligence
Mm-hmm.
When we truly know it's free and we've created artificial intelligence, is when it can self-destruct, kill others, kill itself. So there's the
Yeah.
potential for self-destruction and for
Yeah.
destruction, right? So that's the like Garden of Eden scenario, and I
It's
find
good.
it
It's good that
very
you raised the
fascinating.
Bible because we were supposed to talk about something God,
Well, isn't
and
it
that's good that you
amazing
raised
that
that.
it's amazing because that's like the first thing they're talking about the human experience is this.
Mm-hmm.
There's kind of like there's objective moral, like there's absolute moral standard and truth, and there's right and there's wrong. But here we have the free agent who is able to have subjective morality and choose. They can say, no, for me, for Adam and Eve, they were like, well, I understand the objective truth of I shouldn't eat this fruit. I know what's going to happen. I understand that, but I choose myself. They've created their own system inside their own thinking, and they're like, oh yeah, but nah, they just start to justify. They use subjective reasoning and whatever. They go against
No,
it. But see, this is important because then
it
you're
is.
looking at the Christian story. Even Jesus voluntarily came down and died for our sins. He's like, I want to sort this mess out. He himself voluntarily did that. And then the Christian, we voluntarily become a Christian. We choose to become
We
a
choose it
Christian.
because we experience something that others don't. And that's why others mock us. They're like, well, how can you believe in God? It doesn't make sense. But it's because
It makes perfect sense.
it does to us. If I put my hand on a light bulb without the light bulb there, but the light is on it, I will get electrocuted. That's a real experience. That's an internal experience that I have felt that they haven't. And they don't know what it is to feel the Holy Spirit because it's such a foreign concept to them.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
so
believe in that too. Like, there's the personal experience of the Holy Spirit, but we have historical evidence of Jesus. I
yes,
believe
that's
there's
exactly,
nobody
that's true.
historian out there who's claiming Jesus isn't real. Like Richard Dawkins says, yes, Jesus is real. Like, they all know Jesus is real. They all think Jesus was a great guy and did great
That's
things and
true. That's true.
changed the bloody world. Like, so what are we talking about? Like, yeah, we have the historical evidence of this God, this Jesus chap. You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, I
But
agree. Like even a non-leftist atheist like Christopher Hitchens, fantastic atheist. Unfortunately, he's passed away, but he even acknowledged that Jesus did exist. There are some leftist atheists that don't acknowledge it. They outright say he never existed. This is a good subject to talk about in 2 weeks' time when we pursue your show, episode 3, on your channel again.
yeah.
Yeah, this is good. Actually, we should do a discussion on the
I've got my jar. Have you seen my sweet jar?
Yes, I did.
I'm getting the jar.
The big bag. He has a jar, and the purpose of the jar is to show people that he can create nothing out of something.
Well, I reckon
Something out of nothing.
I'm gonna be rich because I'm gonna, like, when I sell merch, right? I'll set up my website to sell merch, and I'm gonna sell empty jars of nothing. And you can be a god of your own universe in 13.5 billion years. You'll be ruling and reigning over,
You should have your own merch store with a jar and then put a sticker on it saying you are the god of the universe.
Yeah.
That is gold.
13.5 billion years, you're going to be, mate. I'm
Dude.
just going to be lording. It'd be pretty. It'd be kind of like a libertarian. My political philosophy is like classical liberalism, conservatism, libertarian. That's the scope. That's the spectrum of and of course, like civic nationalism.
Let me
That's
try
my
and name
scope.
mine. I'm a soft libertarian, traditional moderate conservative. I think that's what I am, because I'm very traditional with some things. I'm far right when it comes to abortion. People often say she's far right. I would just admit it if I was. When it comes to abortion, I'm pretty far right on that subject. But yeah, I'm a traditional conservative with moderate leanings.
I just think you have a brain. That's all. You're not a right-wing conservative around abortion. You have a heart and a brain, and you're like,
thank you.
Hang on a minute. This baby has its own genetic, like it has its own heartbeat.
It does.
Has its own genetic code.
It does.
They can have their own blood type.
That's true.
And then they're sacrificing them like they're nothing.
It's a
you know?
holocaust. It's
Pretty much
horrible.
because of the love of money. That's why.
Or the
Like,
love of their own
like,
independence and freedom, and like, oh, I'm too busy right now.
yeah, well, it's lifestyle. I mean, like we've got a big problem in the West. Like we've
It's
had
selfishness
so
and
much
nihilism.
success. We've had such a successful. What we've done, we've created the modern world. Yeah, we've made some mistakes, but damn, we've
For
got
sure.
here. It's amazing. It's fucking awesome.
Mm.
And we're loving life. We're so materialistic. We've got great lifestyle, all this sweet stuff. We're in love with money. We're in love with our own success. And we've just become greedy and we're trying to keep up with the Joneses. And I think there's such a cultural pressure.
I'm trying to keep up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, everyone's like, I'm detaching myself from that. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm done with it, man. Like, we need to just be like, yeah, look, I'm inspired by people's success.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't get jealous. If I see a buff dude, he's worked his ass off, I'm like, good on you, dude. If someone's loaded, they've clearly worked their ass off or say, entrepreneur, I'm like cheering them on. Great, that's awesome, man. But you know what? Get rid of jealousy. Get inspired. Be inspired by people. Don't be jealous. Don't try keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, jealousy is a bad emotion. I rarely feel it. I think it's really good.
On anyone.
Very few Christians feel jealousy. Well, like, of course I felt it, but like very few Christians use it to drive them. Yeah, you're right. Get rid of it. Everyone, the lesson today is get rid of jealousy.
I think the thing is, but we're so, there is like a part of us, like even the Bible, it constantly says be fruitful and multiply. So there's a part of our heart where we like success. We like when there's like a multiplying effect happening around someone and there's health and there's success and wealth or whatever. Like it's a good thing. But the thing is when that it can turn into a negativity and it comes like a cultural heart issue where these young women and young men are like, I can't afford it. I don't want to miss out on them holidays or that lifestyle, or we're so worried we want to keep up with the Joneses, so they abort that baby. Like it's you know what I mean? And this is the thing, like I was saying about Australia Day. We got to start the conversation.
Yeah.
Take the edge off this stuff and be like, hang on a minute, you don't have to buy into that. You have to buy into the mindset that we can all be susceptible for. Like I have been too.
Yeah.
When you're young, I think you're like, yeah, sweet. You see the opportunities, you get the cash, you're loving it. It's so good living in the Western world. So much opportunity, so much money to be made. But then after a while, it's like,
glad I'm in Australia and not in Colombia. Yeah.
Oh, you'd probably be. It's the same thing there. There's just different opportunity. It's selling drugs.
Well, I mean, if anyone wants some cocaine, I'll give you guys my mum's private number. I don't know if those jokes are dangerous to make.
That's probably dangerous.
It probably is, but people are so stupid. You have to laugh after and be like, ha, 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 ha. That's a joke.
Yeah, clearly. There's no more joking anymore. They're killing it.
There's no more joking anymore. You're not wrong.
I've seen this. Do you know the Legal Latino? I've given him a shout out. He's got a sick YouTube channel.
Oh,
he's
really?
This mad dude, right? Legal Latino. And he's
Latino, that's funny.
He's like, what am I gonna do? He's like, all my people. He's like, all the people I steal their content and their ideas. He's like, and they're all getting kicked off YouTube. He's like, what am I gonna do? And he goes on. Well, what was he saying? What were you just saying? I've lost my train of thought here for a second.
I just said that we can't make jokes anymore.
That's right. He said he's going on. He's like, I just want to tell you, it's Pride Month. He's like, I'm all for Pride Month, and he's just listing all the things. He's like, I love the Jews, I love Israel, I love the gays. He's like, I love black people, I love everyone.
Pride in all of them.
He's just like, he's like, whatever you do. He's like, I don't want to lose my YouTube channel. And he's just saying all this stuff.
That's awesome.
He's just sarcastic and funny. I was like, this dude's hilarious. I love him.
That's cool. No, I've never heard of him. That's funny.
You look him up, man. You should interview him. I reckon it'd be such a hard case. I want to interview him too.
Yeah,
he doesn't have many subs, but like, damn, he should have heaps of subs. He's so funny and good heart. Like, he's got a good heart on him, I reckon.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. That's good. Well, we'll leave it there because I have to do a Zoom call now. So, everyone, thank you for tuning in to the second episode of Dia and Dusty. The third episode will feature back on the the Dusty Bogan's channel, so subscribe to the Dusty Bogan.
Yeah, sweet. Thanks for having me on, eh?
Oh, happy to have you on. And everyone, if you want to donate to Dusty's PayPal, please do so. I have one as well. I also have a subscribe star. We are really awesome people, and I know you guys know it. So because you know it, please do us that favor.
Yeah, shout me a beer. Don't be a tight ass.
I will go to Brisbane one day. If you come down to Melbourne one day, we'll do a meet and greet with fans. I don't know, something gay like something lame like that, and then I'll shout you a beer.
Yeah, you owe me fucking heaps anyway, I reckon.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys on Wednesday for my live stream with Kwaku. And then I'm not sure who my guest for the following Wednesday will be. But and you guys keep an eye out for Dusty, and you guys Dusty and I in 2 weeks' time on his channel for episode 3.
No worries. Thanks heaps, eh? Catch you then.
Bye, guys.